Hi, I'm Justin Martin, and I'm here with Lucy Piero. She's the owner of
Hi.
Breathe Music Studios, and she's a professional singer and vocal coach. And we started a little thing called Breathe Music Live Sessions. So, what gave you the idea to do this, Lucy, and tell us all about the project?
Hosting annual recitals felt too rigid, felt too like it kind of restrained people from really expressing themselves fully. And part of what I teach, much of what I teach, is about your self expression, about working through that process. So, creating a space for us to create videos to post and share across the world with our family who may not be in our community to come to a recital.
When he puts his arms around me, way in the middle of the dark, you know he fills me up with a kind of a light. Ooh, the man's alright.
But it had been a few years that I had thought about starting it, but I really needed support and help. It wasn't something that I could do on my own. And so I kind of put it on the back burner for a little while. And then Justin started coming in for lessons, for voice lessons. Justin is a fantastic musician, guitarist, and wanted to up his game in singing. So when he came in and we started talking about ideas for performing, and he suggested doing video and audio, and then that kind of simmered for a while, and then I think we just kind of organically happened that we said, hey, let's try this, and let's start sharing our music in the online community, because there's so much of it. It is somewhat saturated, but we thought, we have something to provide, to offer as well. We have something to offer that we feel is a little bit different and unique, and it's just a space for us to create. So the idea came that after working with my students where they felt ready and where I feel that they're ready to come in and create a video and perform a full live song from top to bottom. So even though we're in a recording studio, it wouldn't be like tracked recording. We would create the song in our own way in a live setting.
It's that sunrise in those brown eyes, yes. You're the one that I desire. When we wake up and then we make love, yes. It makes me feel so nice. You're my water when I'm stuck in the desert. You're the Tylenol I take when my head hurts. You're the sunshine of my life. I just wanna see how.
Justin and I produce each song and kind of choose which songs we want to use. And actually, you've had a lot of great ideas about kind of song choice. So what's your kind of take on what songs we actually cover?
I generally like to find something that says something. Sometimes it's a piece of music that is maybe a little bit more challenging, but it's composed incredibly. Just something about the song makes it above what your normal song would be. I mean, sometimes you can get a song that's very simple with only a couple chord changes that is fantastic, and then there are some that are a lot more complex, and it just really has to kind of speak to me, and the criteria is random. It could be hearing a heavy metal song and going, hey, I'd like to do that in a different way and break it down to its rawest elements, or taking a folk song and throwing a rock spin on it, or a disco song or something. So it's kind of random, but a lot of what we've been kind of doing and gravitating towards is songs that are maybe a little bit older, not necessarily classic rock, and not necessarily 90s rock or any specific time period, but in each of those time periods it has to be an example of something that really stood out, that really was exceptional for the time. And we were having a conversation earlier about, it's okay to be influenced by different musicians and then wear those influences on your sleeve. but I think it's getting to a point where newer generations aren't going backwards when they hear a band they like. They're not researching where that band got their sound from.
Yeah.
And I think over time it's starting to get a little bit more watered down. It's getting a little less produced. There's the melodies aren't as good.
You're saying like songwriting in general is kind of heading that way.
Yeah. And you still have some outliers in music that are exceptional. For the time period, we were doing an Alicia Keys song, and Alicia Keys was somebody during that time period. It was watered down pop that was exceptional. And current artists, another one we did was her and Daniel Cesar, and she was a little Alicia Keys clone when she was young, performing on Good Morning America, I think. But then she also discovered Prince and other sounds and other instruments, and she right now is somebody that's exceptional when you're dealing with a lot of watered down sameness.
Yeah. So something that I've had the pleasure of as a coach, working with students of all ages and all levels, I encourage them to bring material to me. I challenge them with bringing in a number of songs. We listen to all of them, we work on all of them, and then we together decide what songs are right for them to sing, to perform, to just know fully. Learning a song fully and being able to sing it and memorize it and express it in their own way is a very big process for any artist. Doesn't matter how good, what kind of talent you're born with, that is a skill, that's a process that you have to learn. And especially if you want to diversify yourself. So Justin and I have worked in many bands, in many genres of music, so we have a deep appreciation for all styles of music. And it's just been great learning about new songs and seeing, okay, there's this new artist that's out, that's on TikTok, that the kids are listening to, but what did that artist, where did they come from? What were their prior influences? And teaching the kids to really go back and look at the history of a song and a style and an arrangement and a melody line, I think is really important for kids to learn if they want to grow as a musician, if they want to just have music in their life. It's important for us to understand how rich our music history is. And like also in South Florida, we're so lucky to have such a diverse, landscape of music that we hear, that's around us, that's in our community, that's in, bars and clubs and libraries everywhere we go. For this project, my students come in with different song choices, and what we've been doing for this project as they kind of work and formulate which song they're going to perform with us, Justin and I work together and say, okay, does it kind of meet that criteria? Is it rich? Is it filled with great melody or some great content? And, for singers, what is the message of the song? So one of the first songs we decided to do is this Alicia Keys song, If I Ain't Got You. And you just look at the message and the story through that song. And a lot of singers need to learn that as a skill too, of how you invest in that story, in that lyric, what it means to you. Why are you saying these words? So there's a lot of that kind of built into this whole experience. And it's just nice to be able to take the time to do that with each student and to collaborate between the singer, us, other musicians that we're bringing in to produce the song with us in this setting. So it's just really, it just feels like everyone can be authentic and creative in their own way. So
another song we did was Someone You Love, Louis Capaldi. Mm-hmm. And the only reason I came up with that song was I'd heard it and it was a great song. I didn't really pay much attention to it beyond that. It was on a bunch of TikTok videos, I think. But it wasn't until I saw a performance that he did where his Tourette's was acting up really bad. He was having trouble singing the song. And I think it was like Glastonbury or something like that. And it was a huge crowd, outdoor festival. And the crowd sang the song back to him. And it was such a pure moment that it resonated. And I think that's what we're looking for, is those human moments, those human connections, those emotional connections.
Yeah.
And, you know, what better medium than music? It encompasses all of it. It's, you know, almost every sense there is. I mean, there's, you know, you're hearing, there's vibration, which also has to do with touch. If you're playing the instrument, the way the instrument vibrates in your hands, or the feedback it gives you. So it's such a great medium for emotion and connection.
I'm going under, and this time I fear there's no one to save me. This all and nothing really got a way of driving me crazy. I need somebody to hear, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain, but now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, then you pulled the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love.